Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper. In today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the top 5 hardest solo Easter eggs to do in Call of Duty Zombies. Now, for a map to make this list on the top 5 hardest solo Easter eggs, number one, it has to be able to be done solo. So a map like Transit or Die Rise, where you can't technically do it by yourself, would not count. And also, another thing is that it can be from any Call of Duty Zombies game, as long as it has a main questline Easter egg that can be done solo, it is able to be put on this list. But we're going to be going over what is, in my opinion, the top 5 hardest to do by yourself. Now, before we get started on this video, all I ask of you guys is if you end up enjoying the video to leave a like on it. That would be absolutely awesome. We'll go for 750 likes. And if you are new to the channel as well, make sure you are subscribing. I would love you forever if you would do that. Also, one more thing I almost forgot to mention. I started a second channel that I'm going to be posting other games on, like PUBG and things like that. Just pretty much anything that is not zombies content will be uploaded over there. So there's going to be extra content. If you guys would like to go check that out, please check the link in the description. Subscribe over to the second channel. I would appreciate it very, very much, and the support already on it has been awesome, so thank you guys very much for that. But anyways, all that stuff out of the way, let's get into the top 5 hardest solo Easter eggs in Call of Duty Zombies. So ladies and gentlemen, coming in at the number 5 spot, we have Moon. Now the reason why Moon makes my list on this is not necessarily because, gameplay speaking, it's the hardest Easter egg to do, because it's really not. There aren't too many steps and some of them are pretty easy as well. What frustrates me about this map and doing it solo is the fact that you need so much luck if you're going to get it done. In just the mystery box alone, you'll first need to get the Gersh devices and then go back to the QEDs and then back to the Gersh devices for the final step. And that may not sound too bad, but when you're on solo and you're trying to, rotate these out of the box because you have to trade one and out to get the other, it's really, really annoying, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. You can spend all your racks, over 100,000, and you can absolutely get nothing out of the mystery box, which sucks. Not to mention, you need the wave gun first step as well, and not only that, not only can a box be a huge pain and not allow you to complete the Easter egg, but also the fact that you need to get the right excavator on a low round. So there's 3 excavators in the map, and you need excavator pie to come through. And I kid you not, this is not a joke, I'm not memeing on you. I have literally waited 40 rounds for the excavator pie to come through one time. So in this gameplay that you're currently watching, I actually got excavator pie on round 2. It is possible to have it on round 1, but it's also apparently possible to have it on round 40. You literally just never know. It's preset as soon as you load up your game, and you're not going to know what it is until you actually experience it. It can be entirely frustrating, especially for speedrunners. It's an absolute nightmare. That's why I would never really try to speedrun this map. Sounds terrible, but just based on those factors alone, I just find this map way too annoying to do solo. It's not that it's hard to do, especially if everything falls into place. It can actually be one of the easiest, but I'm not a lucky man. Never have been, never will be. So that's just kind of how it is for me. I'm not a huge fan of soloing this map, but maybe you guys are. Let me know in the comment section if you enjoy this particularly, because if you do, I don't think we can be friends. But anyways, that is why Moon has to take the number 5 spot on my list. So taking our number 4 spot is one that is very close to me. This is going to be Garad Krovi. Now, personally, I don't find this map to be super hard to do on solo. It's because I've played a lot and I've practiced it. I know how it runs, but in the beginning, before I really figured this map out, I struggled with this hardcore. And I think this is what a lot of people's troubles are as well, that they don't really don't get enough practice on the map. They don't know how it works and the best ways to do each challenge. Basically, this Easter egg, you don't have to hit the box for any weapon. It's not like Moon where it's very, RNG heavy, but you do have to, it's probably the most fast-paced Easter egg where you're always doing challenges and it's like back to back to back. You don't ever really get a break to breathe, and that's where a lot of people get tripped up, but that just kind of gets ironed out with practice, and that's something that's helped me complete this, on solo. And also, a fun fact is I think that the Garad Curvy Easter egg is the least completed egg in BO3 across the board, according to like the trophy statistics anyways. The least amount of people have completed this just in general. That doesn't even include, who's done it on solo and who hasn't. I also personally think that this has the hardest boss fight in BO3. A lot of them are easy, like Zetsubo, Revelations, and Shadows V, will just name a few, are really, really easy to run through. But Garad's has basically, it's unique because there's 2 different bosses. You fight the dragon at first, which can be a little bit of a challenge, and then you fight the mech Nikolai at the end. And as long as you know what to do on Nikolai, he's actually pretty easy, especially at the Mark III. There's a couple gobblegums that can just make it absolute cheese. Like, it's honestly ridiculous, but this is just the map that I see and hear people give the most trouble, whether it's just the Easter egg steps or the boss fight itself. A lot of people just cannot complete Garad Krovi, and especially on solo, when it's a little bit more of a daunting task to do, I can totally see that. And I think the console completions are a reflection of that, but that's why Garad Krovi had to take number 4 on my list. It isn't too bad, but it's something that I wanted to include. So now let's go ahead and get into the number 3 spot. Now, coming in hot at number 3, I think this is one that nobody expected. Well, maybe a few of you did, but this is going to be Descent from Exo Zombies. So, I doubt a lot of you are really super familiar with this map. I don't know how many people have actually completed this Easter egg, to be honest with you, but it's one of the ones that definitely was low on my priority list, and it actually took me quite a while to complete. I wasn't super into this map, but I did end up recently completing this Easter egg solo, and they weren't kidding about it absolutely being a chore to do. When you do it with a team, it's something that really isn't that bad. It can go rather quickly, but when you're by yourself and it's just you, you have a lot on your plate and a lot to handle. Now, fun fact a lot of people don't know about this map is that this technically, I would say, has the first boss fight. There's this, like, kind of sequence where you go into this room where Oz teleports you, and you have to fight him and kind of survive this, but when you actually end up completing an Easter egg and go to the end, there's, like, this big boss zombie that you got to take down as well, and this also kind of has the first alternate ending or super Easter egg. There's something called Double Feature. Descent, while it was not my favorite Exo Zombies map, it did bring a lot of new stuff to the table, a lot of innovation, so I have to give credit where credit's due, to be honest with you. Now, if you're looking to get this Easter egg done, which I really don't know why you would at this point, it doesn't really matter too much, but just say for the completionist in you, you want to complete Descent, please run it with a team. I mean, if you want to take it on solo, by all means, go ahead. It's going to be a difficult one, but it's definitely able to be done as well. Best tip I can give you if you're going to run it by yourself, your Exo movement needs to be spot on, okay? Those of you who have played this Easter egg will know exactly what I mean, but that is why Descent has to take the number 3 spot. So now, let's get into the final 2 that we have. So taking the number 2 spot is an absolute classic. This is going to be Black Ops 2 Origins. Now, I say specifically BO2 because while Black Ops 3 Origins is really good and it can provide a challenge if you're doing the Easter egg solo, I find that the Gobblegum system and just a few other things about BO3 make it a little bit easier than the way Origins was originally supposed to be played. This map is all about micromanaging. You want to do everything as much as you can on the lowest round possible. You need to build and upgrade all 4 staffs by yourself. You need to do the G-Strike step all alone. You have to do everything solo, and pretty much the majority and the bulk of this Easter egg is building the staffs, and the rest of the steps are pretty self-explanatory and rather simple, but building the staffs is something that is no joke, especially when it's just you, and that's what people underestimate, I think. In my own preference, Origins is not a perfect Easter egg. I don't really even think that sort of thing exists, but on solo, it's probably one of the hardest challenges any Zombies player can put themselves up to. When you run it with a team, though, this Easter egg becomes probably one of the easiest. It's very weird how that works. Like, it's one of the hardest just if you're doing it alone, but with a team, it's honestly a cakewalk. So I'm not really sure how that all adds up, but personally, I gotta put Origins as my number 2 spot because it is definitely a tough one. Now, before we unveil our number 1 spot of the hardest solo Easter egg, I had to add in an honorable mention. I was going to put this just in the regular list, but I kind of figured, I don't know if this map really deserves its own spot. I don't know how you guys would feel about this, but coming in at our honorable mention, we have none other than the gem of Infinite Warfare, Shaolin Shuffle. Oh, what can I say about this map? Let me just kind of go ahead and break this down to you guys. If you have never ran the Easter egg, regardless if it was just by yourself or with other players, have you ever wanted to, number 1, do Morse code, wanted to solve ciphers, and go on a completely ridiculously overly complex scavenger hunt to find little orange symbols around the map, and that's not even all the Easter egg steps, that's like the first 40% of it. I don't know how I feel about this map. Like, I got a love-hate relationship with it. I mean, some of the steps I like, doing the soul boxes and kind of fighting the Rat King throughout just doing the map, but what I hate is, you know, solving the ciphers, which I think is a really, really dumb step to put in for a main quest line. I honestly didn't believe that that was a step just because I thought that was so ridiculous. Doing Morse code for the average gamer, that's like asking a little much of them, and especially providing like no guides in the map. You literally need to outsource to like Google or something else to help you solve Morse code, unless you just got that like programmed into your brain. Otherwise, that's kind of cool, but this map is definitely not made for the average gamer or really any solo player to do. Like, you'll constantly find yourself pausing the game to look at a Morse code graph or, you know, how to solve your cipher. You'll have the Infinite Warfare alphabet up. It's really, honestly, just, it's unbelievably ridiculous. This map is sometimes, it's AIDS. Like, it's that bad. Although there is one really good thing about this map, the boss fight is probably one of the most unique in Infinite Warfare. There's like a lot of cool different sequences. It almost reminds me of the Garrood Kirby boss fight that way. I don't know, I'm just a huge fan of that style, but this Easter egg it's alright, but I think it deserved to be on the honorable mentions list because I think there's just some mixed reviews. So let me know in the comment section if you like Shaolin Shuffle or not, if it's a fun Easter egg to do solo or with a team. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to unveil our number 1 spot for the hardest solo Easter egg, in my opinion. This has to go to World War II Zombies, the Final Reich. Now, this Easter egg, oh my gosh. Just so we're on the same page here, I'm specifically referring to the hardcore Easter egg. So, in the hardcore Easter egg, if you guys did not know, you have to do the entire casual quest, but also you need to do a bunch of other really like random little steps. But the big kicker here is that you have to upgrade all 4 Tesla guns, which is an absolute pain. It is a chore. I've done this solo once, and I'd rather gun myself down than have to do this again. It's unbelievable. The game I ended up completing in was almost 4 hours long, and I was almost at round 50 as well. And that's not even like a high round attempt or just messing around for fun. That was me genuinely trying to get the Easter egg done as soon as possible, and it took me almost 50 rounds. Like, that's something that I think is a flaw in the design a little bit, and to sit back and think that the average gamer is going to be able to do this by themselves, I think is just a terrible line of thinking, because I've been playing zombies for years. A lot of hardcore guys in the community are even saying that they're having trouble with this Easter egg, or it's something that's a little bit too ridiculous. I completely 100% agree with him. If you didn't have to upgrade all 4 Tesla guns, then this Easter egg would be significantly easier, because the most like trouble you're going to have is running up the rounds trying to do each Tesla's upgrade, because they're so like unique and specific to what kind of zombies you need. It's kind of weird, and just to be quite frank with you, I don't think upgrading the Tesla guns are as fun as, say, upgrading the stabs and origins. Like, the puzzles aren't as cool and whatever, so I don't know. I think I'd rather play the origin solo Easter egg and do those chores rather than do the Final Reich hardcore solo. But that is going to be my list of the top 5 hardest Easter eggs on solo in any Call of Duty Zombies. If you guys enjoyed this list, make sure you let me know in the comment section. But if there's another map that you think should have been on this list that did not make it, and there's another like solo map that you think is pretty difficult, definitely let me know inside the comment section. I'll probably make another video like this, maybe do the top 5 easiest solo Easter eggs. I'm not sure, but before I let you guys go, if you haven't done already, make sure you guys check the link in the description and go subscribe over to the second channel, where there'll be plenty brand new videos and a bunch of content coming up there as well. I won't be uploading as frequently as the second channel as I do on here, but it's something that I would appreciate if you guys could go subscribe over there, and just for more videos and extra content. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the video for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching once again. I appreciate it a ton. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all up on the next live stream or the next video. Peace out.